That HOA is out to get me! At first, the rules seemed harmless. No uncut lawns, no wild-looking mailboxes. Fine. But it quickly spiraled. The first violation, we got written up for having friends over on a Friday night. 8 people, grilling, laughing. At 10:05 p.m., Peterson was on my porch with his sedan blasting, shouting that we'd violated curfew. The next morning, I found a letter wedged in the door. Official warning, wild bonfire, alcohol, safety hazard. Never mind, we weren't even drinking. A few months later, we got hit for letting the kids play football in the nearly empty street. Each time, another late-night letter appeared. Fines crept higher. The weirdest. The hearings were held in Peterson's kitchen, with his wife and neighbor, as the entire board. They always ruled against me. Then added late fees for protesting. My mailbox turned into a fine dispenser. One day, a new family moved in next door. The Petersons had sent them a welcome basket with wine and a note. Welcome to the neighborhood. Don't even think about cutting your grass on Saturdays. They also warned us about the infamous Peterson Party Patrol. Apparently, they stake out the block, waiting for someone to violate curfew so they can swoop in and hand out tickets. It all came to a head when I decided to protest. I wrote a strongly worded letter to the HOA, listing all the violations, the fines, the intimidation tactics. I demanded a meeting to discuss my grievances. I got a form response. Your request has been received and will be placed on the agenda for the next HOA board meeting. I knew exactly what that meant. It was the classic stall tactic. They hoped I'd forget about the whole thing by the time their next meeting rolled around. But I was prepared. I'd copied all my evidence onto a flash drive, and I marched right into Peterson's garage. He and his wife were there. Of course, along with the neighbor and 2 other board members. I laid out my case, citing all the violations, presenting the evidence. For once, they didn't rule against me. They actually agreed that some of the fines were bogus and that some of the rules were unclear. But that didn't stop them from handing down the ultimate punishment.
They fined me for protesting. Yeah, seriously.
As I stormed out, I could hear them muttering, "He's not one of us. He doesn't belong here." Maybe they were right. Maybe I didn't belong in a place where the HOA had more power than the residents. As I drove home, I passed by a house with a for sale sign out front. I slowed down. Maybe someone else could buy my house and take over my spot on the block. I could just move away and start fresh somewhere else.
But who would buy a house with a note like that?